I actually wanted to give my approval to this report, and there were so many parts that were rejected or were changed, were adopted, that it actually did not reflect the original way as it was meant to really show the inequality between men and women in the last year. As we know, we have had the crisis, and the crisis had a very serious impact on women, on their living situation, and then as a consequence, of course, on the young people also. And we have, summa summarum, I think we can say we have a huge inequality in Europe, unfortunately, and that's why I actually abstained from the final vote, or with the final vote, as I said, because there was such an imbalance, and the original meaning was changed quite a bit.
In what sense do you think it became too broad? That's what some MEPs are saying.
Yes, it became way too broad because there was no stress, no focus on, for example, the topic of abortion. This was blown up by some conservative members. I understand their perspective, but this was definitely not part of the report, not to that big issue as it has become.
And you said it was a problem across Europe. Do you think there's discrepancy between different countries with equality between men and women? Do you think some countries are more advanced than others?
Yes, definitely. There are some countries that are much more advanced. There are some countries that are really lag behind. Just think of the crisis countries, or the countries that had been hit by the crisis severely, as for example Greece, Cyprus, Spain and Portugal. I can say it because I talked to the people there. I went on fact-finding visits, on delegation trips, and we had a lot of meetings that taught us about the problems of women, about the inequality that exists, and of course it hits women first. It's clear. It hits women first, and then women they are very flexible. They like really want to find a job, so they take up one job which is only a part-time job, which in most cases, if I think of the Greek situation, is in a very precarious situation actually, and which means that they only get paid for like 10 or 15 hours, but they actually have to work for 40 hours. So this puts women behind, especially when you think long-term. You think of the pension systems, of their health insurance profits, and a lot of other aspects. And then, as I said, women are flexible. They only have like a job with 15 or 20 hours, but they can't make ends meet.
That's right.
And they have to find a second job. So it puts them under a lot more stress than men actually.
So you're talking about jobs there. Do you think employment, that's one of the biggest issue really?
Yes.
Because I think the trouble is it's such a big topic.
It is a big topic. You can look at the inequality between men and women in the field of politics. You can look at the inequality of between men and women in the field of public life, of family life, of private life. I just talked a day ago to some people, and I told them the story that if the husband says, "Oh, why should I take care of the children? It's your job," but she is also a professional. He's a professional. They both go to work. They both have to be at work at 9 a.m. So why can't he take care of the one child and the woman, the wife of the other child? I think there is still a long way to go until we have equality of men and women in Europe.
And as a female politician, that must be something you've experienced firsthand, is it?
Yes.
Do you think, is that why you feel so passionately about it?
I think we should not lag behind. I think women have the same standard and the same status as men. So I definitely have to insist that women are part of the political life, are part of the public life, and are simply given the same chances. It happens in my own country that a woman doesn't get the same payment as the man or as her male colleague gets, even though she probably even has the same qualification or even a better qualification. And I strongly believe men and women must be paid the same way for the same work with the same education. If one is educated in a better way, then of course the one gets more money. But as long as we don't have this basis, I think we can't speak of equality between men and women.
Do you think there'll ever be a change? Do you think with the help of European Parliament there'll ever be a change? Yes.
Hope is the last thing that should die, actually.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
I thank
talking
you.
to me.
Thank you. Certainly.